Nosen Lo Yeshua, on the top of Chav Zayin, Amid Aleph. Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya was a Levi, and now he was Makayim the mitzvah of Nesinas Maser Rishon LeLevi. Umakomo. Now, how can Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya make a kinyan on the Maser when he's in the boat? The answer is Makomo Muskalam. I'm going to be makna him schiras karka, which you could be kona with one pruta. Once the schiras is effectuated, then the makom kinyan kesef is his, and agav a kinyan karka, he can be makna him the taltalin as well. Okay, you solved the problem of Maser Rishon. How are you going to solve the problem of Maser Oni? Where are your aniyah? The Isser Acher Shani Yosid Lamud Nosan Lo Le Akiva ben Yosef, who is the Gizbar for the Anim, Kidei Sheyizke Bol Aniyah Ube Makomo. So Rabbi Akiva as the Gizbar would be Zocha on behalf of the Aniyah through again this schirus. Shmami no, what do we see from this? Be'inon tziburim. They did all these somersaults in the air to be makna karka, and the agav karka means that tziburin in the karka. So Gemara rejects this. Shiny hasam yehechi delo litrachinu. Ram Gamaliel was only makna in the makom for a technical reason. He didn't need to be makna in the makom in order to effectuate a kinyan aga. Because we're holding now that you don't need tziburin. So the metaltalin could be at the end of the world and the karka is here. So he could have been makna the ochel and so forth and so on, agav the karka. So I think the whole big deal here in the Gemara is because it says Makomo Muskarlo. So that's where the Meiser is. That's what he's renting to him. Toshma the Omerova Bar Yitzchak Omera Shnei Shtorsen. There are two different dinim in Ksiva Shtar. The first thing is that if a man says to two Eidim Zechu Besada Zula Ploni, I want you to make a kinyan on behalf of so and so, because we lo is hashtar. So it seems like he made a kinyan chazaka, and yet he had to write a shtar. What was the purpose of the shtar? The answer is, can he rescind and retract his agreement to go through with this kinyan? And the answer is, depends if he wrote a shtar or not. Choser b'shtar v'ena choser b'sol. So he could retract his commissioning of the writing of the shtar, and they have to stop writing the shtar. Okay, so that's One second, is this a case of Agav? I don't think this is a case of Agav.
What would be the case of Agav?
Agav would be when he wants to be makna metaltalin, but here I don't think he's being makna metaltalin. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It says zechu besad zula ploni. So do a kinyan chazak on behalf of so and so. Kisvos a star, write a star. And now he wants to back down from the deal. Is chosav a star, v'yeina chosav besad. He can change his mind and regret that he agreed to write a star, but he can't undermine the kinyan in the sada. Yeah, because the Kona already made a chazak in the sada. As far as the star is concerned, see, I'm not sure why he's chosav a star. One second, I have a commentary on the bottom. Oh, yesh lo nezek, she's of shem shel ani shemocher and his kosim. All right, let's go on. I'm not sure exactly why he could be chosav a star. There is a long discussion here in the notes, apparently based on Atosis and Bava Basra. I could just tell you this, Ira. It seems like most people don't want public knowledge that they purchased a massive piece of real estate. I don't know why exactly, but I can think of an Ayin Hara, or maybe the Makabsei Nedavos are going to come back, knock on his door day and night. So therefore, since the shtar publicizes the Kinyan, and now everybody's going to know he bought the most expensive building in the city. So we'll give him a chance to be chosav a shtar, to rescind his agreement to write up a shtar. Weiter. Now there's another din that's being formulated here regarding this sudden. Amanashe tichtavu lo es hashtar. If he says, I want you to be kona this sudden on behalf of someone else, but only on the condition that he will receive a shtar. So the whole kinyan depends upon the shtar. Is therefore he can decide, all right, I don't want this kinyan. It's chosav b'shtar b'sada. So what does this prove? And I don't see any metaltal in here, so I don't see any aga. Maybe you have to go weiter. 1 second. Rab Chia bar Avin Omar b'shem Rav Huna shlosha shtorasein. Trei Hadam Moron. Idoch im Koda Mocher v'Kasav Osa Shtar Ki Osa Shishani Kosa Shtar Mocher Apfishin Kim Shechzik Imo V'Karka Nikolo Shtar V'Chol Mocher. Shma Mino Delo V'Inin Tziburin. Says here, he made a chazak on the karka, and he was kona the shtar b'chol makom shehu. So you see, you don't need tziburin because it says b'chol makom shehu. So how is he makdim the shtar if the shtar is not sober b'karka? Where it's a shtani shtar, the afsira the arahu. It's like considered part of the karka. Yeah, just like you have the muzzle or whatever it is around the animal's back. What is it called? Saddle? No, not a saddle.
Not a saddle, no. A muzzle.
Maybe call it a muzzle for our purposes. Yeah. I think there's a better word, but let's call it a muzzle. And that muzzle is considered part of the animal. It's attached to the animal. And a shtar has the same status as afsir or diara. In other words, what document would testify about the nature of the sale of this piece of real estate and all the details in the sale? It's got to be the shtar. So the shtar is like the gufa karka, and therefore it doesn't need tzibur. But other metaltalin that have no connection to the karka, they require tzibur. So the Gemara says, no, let's not reject this. V'halok tani zui sheshaninu nechos b'shem lemachrais niknim nechos b'shem lemachrais b'kesef b'shtar chazaka. So it means that Rav Huna derived that a shtar could be acquired or transferred agav asad. And the Mishnah doesn't seem to differentiate between shtar and other metaltal. Shma min lo bin and tziburin. So we got up to iboilu. I think we'll stop here at iboilu.
Okay.
Okay then. So thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Things are still, I don't know if
still a little crazy.
Yeah, the boxes and boxes.
But you moved from Mapeshama.
Right. We moved from Efrat